G'day guys, Carla from Harvey Bay Travel on Fraser Island. This video I'm going to show you all the cool places to check out if you've never been here, tell you a little bit about tyre pressures and how to drive on Fraser. It's actually one of the best places to come and it's not that hard, it's not that expensive, it's a definite must do. So Fraser Island, come along and let me show you around.
Inskip Point, the main entrance to Fraser Island, depending on weather will depend on how soft it is. If it's been hot and the sand's soft and fluffy, 15 PSI will get you across it every day.
That's pretty soft.
Most important thing to remember with all modern four-wheel drives, make sure you turn off traction control and stability control.
Do they just pull up out there and you just drive on?
No, it's going to pull up just in there.
So do they check all your passes before you get on?
No.
Wow. So what happens if you get on, all the cars get on behind you and you don't pass?
You pay.
Oh, you have to pay here.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can pay for barge passes in Rainbow Beach itself at Manta Ray office or on board the vessels. When you get off the barge at Hook Point, you've got to remember that it is tidal. There is an inland track, so if the tides are high, you may need to take the inland track.
So this is going to be interesting, people are using the inland track. So we are actually the first vehicle along here. Through that gap.
You can see as you come along the beachfront at Hook Point, the waves wash right up to the banks, which are quite eroded. So there is not a lot of places to actually get off the beach. In high tide, it is impassable, and you definitely need to take the inland track.
So like, you're better to carry a little bit of momentum through this, see it like, because obviously you do not want to get stuck in salt water.
Lake Mackenzie is an absolutely crystal clear inland lake, nothing but fresh water, absolutely stunning, definite must do on Fraser. This day it was very windy and blowy and cold, so we didn't get much footage here.
Oh, that's like amazing. It's, how deep would that be in the middle there? That'd probably be up to your knees?
Yeah, not that deep.
No? You could just float.
But we're going to go walking in there.
Okay.
That is Fraser Island in a picture. Dingo just casually strolling down the beach. A lot of people worry about the dingoes, but generally speaking, if you leave them alone, leave all your food scraps away, they leave you alone. They're actually not really that big a issue. But they're definitely here, they're here all over the island, but just leave them alone and they'll leave you alone. The western side of Fraser is definitely a must-do as far as I'm concerned. You've got beautiful turquoise water, it's always pretty flat. You've got the whitest of white sands, and then you've got all the freshwater creeks that just flow along the edges. So that is fresh water, but it is where it meets the ocean, so it is brackish, but just a great place to chill in the afternoon. This is Warreley Creek camping area. This is one of my favourite places on Fraser to camp.
The reason I love the western side of Fraser so much is you actually get to see the sunset over water.
You can really see the appeal to the western side. It is just a beautiful place. So this is a two-way track. see blind corners, not many places to pull off to let people pass. So you've just got to take your time, take it slow, and just be courteous and patient.
For the most part of Fraser Island, you can drive on the beach with 20 psi in your tyres. Indian Head is one of these places that can get extremely soft, especially if it's been warm. If you're going to go all the way up to the Sandy Cape, there's no harm in lowering your tyre pressure to 15 psi here.
It's actually not as soft as the last few years. So then when you come out on this beach is notoriously soft as well. You instantly see the water change at turquoise as well. Yeah, so all that sand you can see right up the distance, that's where we're going.
Oh wow, it's stunning.
So people do like come down here and just watch people get stuck in the gully.
Very entertaining.
Yeah.
The Nagala Rocks bypass track up over the soft sand hill is one of the places that a lot of people get caught out and get stuck. If you've got a high-powered four-wheel drive, you can definitely do it on 20 psi, but ideally you want to go down to 15 psi. As you see, there's always a line up of cars. It never really truly flows. There's always people that stuff it up and get stuck, and the cars bank up really quickly. And if nothing else, no one wants to be the person stuck in the Nagala bypass holding everyone up. On this day, it took us about an hour and 20 minutes to get through Nagala, just because there was heaps of four-wheel drives in front of us that got stuck and didn't make it.
Well done.
Get it out of the way, people. Ooh.
We're pretty much through for the rest of you.
Any four-wheel drive is capable of getting over Nagala Rocks. If you've got a lower powered four-wheel drive, just consider using lower tyre pressures and even low range. Just depends on the weather. If it's been hot and it's super chopped up and super fluffy, it's much harder.
That's it. That's Nagala Rocks.
That was awesome. Apart from my commentary.
There is nothing quite like coming around the corner at the most northern point of Fraser at Sandy Cape and just seeing the flat turquoise water.
Haze blue.
It doesn't even look like we're in Australia.
So where I am right now is up the very northern end of Fraser Island, up at Sandy Cape. Stayed up at Carree camping area. Now, as you can see, you end up with a little private patch of paradise to yourself. And the water up here is just like nothing you'll see anywhere else. I think the biggest thing with Fraser Island is you get trapped by the tides. So basically 2 hours either side of high tide, you can't go anywhere. So wherever you are, that's where you're staying. So you've got to plan it a little bit. So, but look, there's worse places to be stuck. Western side of the island has always been my favourite because you can watch the sunset over the ocean. Very wet. Oh,
Coming back from Sandy Cape through Nagala Bypass can actually be quite harder. The sandhill on the northern side is much steeper, but it's shorter.
It's actually not bad because of the rain.
The tight, narrow, rocky section of Nagala bypass is known as the car wash. Just take your time in here because it is very tight. The boardwalk to Champagne Pools is absolutely amazing and worth having a look at. On a sunny day, the pools are crystal clear and it's just a cool place to see. On this day, it was windy, raining and actually cold, so we didn't bother going down. So these are the typical Fraser Island beach camping spots. You've got generally Eastern Beach over there, a little bit of sand dune that you're behind to shelter you from the wind, and then you just drive along and pick your own little piece of paradise. This is just standard Fraser Island camping. This is Zone 5 in between Mahino and Eli Creek. It's hard to believe that this is $7 a night. Driving through these camp areas, these camp zones, is actually one of my favourite things to do too. The tracks are actually quite soft, fluffy, a little bit challenging, a little bit fun. What I do find on the eastern side, most of these camp zones are perched back with like a frontal sand dune like that. So you can actually camp down below it to stay out of the wind. Or like us, it's not that bad today, so we've found a spot up on top. It's a perfect place to spend the afternoon. An absolute must to do on the eastern side of Fraser is experience at least one sunrise. Watching the sun come up over the ocean is just absolutely beautiful. The SS Mahino. Shipwreck on Fraser Island. It's just one of them things that you'll drive past it anyway, but worth coming to see. Such a cool thing to cruise on the main beach and just see this massive ship just sitting here in the middle of nowhere. Make sure you bring yourself a cheap inflatable tube and come and float down Eli Creek. That's my idea of the perfect 4 nights on Fraser. Lake Mackenzie, over to Kingfisher, up to Wallery Creek, all the way to the Sandy Cape, of course Nagala bypass, back down to the Mahino and Eli Creek, and then the last night camping down near Eurong, so you're nice and close to get off the island in the morning. Football sounds like a lawnmower. Camping down near Eurong, you get to see the Air Kagari planes coming in and out. They just fly along and land on the beach and take off from the beach. It's something that's a bit cool, a little bit different, something you don't see everywhere. There you have it. That is my version of Fraser Island. That's how I like to do it. As always, love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Anything, feel free, comment them below. If you like what you see, feel free to subscribe. And until next time, go travel.